and welcome back. So, I have one more topic that I really need to address, and this is something that I've wanted to talk about ever since I ran for Senate. This is probably one of the single most hot issues that I think impedes us from getting ahead today and getting our government back in track. And what it is it's really the media. Now, when I'm talking about the media, I am talking about CNBC, I am talking about MSNBC, I am talking about Fox News, but more importantly, I'm talking about the guys who pretend to represent the people of America. Now, I'm talking about guys like Hannity. I'm talking about guys like Glenn Beck. And even locally, I'm talking about a talk show host by the name of Severin. Now, this is the interesting thing about these guys. When I listen to a guy like Glenn Beck, I actually agree with a lot of the things that he says. But I also disagree with a lot of the things he says based upon who he has on his TV show. What does Glenn Beck do? Glenn Beck will flip-flop on issues. Sometimes he is pro-war, sometimes he is against war, slightly different views of the whole thing, and then he goes off and he says, oh, you know, I'm a libertarian. He pounds his chest as a libertarian, and then goes off to Washington, D.C. and has a gigantic rally, and he starts bringing up religion. So what is this guy telling people when he says, I'm a libertarian, out of one side of his mouth, and then starts injecting religious doctrine into one gigantic speech that he's giving on Capitol Hill? What is that saying to people? What's that saying to people is it's a mixed message. He's telling people that, hey, you know what it means to be libertarian? It means to believe in religion and government. Or sometimes he talks about war. Oh yeah, you know, this thing or this military occupation is a good thing. But the reality is, it's not. He is basically ruining the names of the parties that are going to rescue us from what's going on. And then you got guys like Sean Hannity. What is Sean doing? Sean is one of the top 25 show hosts in the nation today. That's the viewership that he's got. And you know what? He'll sit up there and he will say, you know what? I'm a libertarian and I have libertarian viewpoints, but yet Sean Hannity will come out and he will defend the war. He will defend the Patriot Act. And he will attack something like AshleyMadison.com, which he did just a couple of weeks ago. You know what? This is crazy. You've got this guy who is pro-war, and he attacks individual freedoms consistently. And then he says, oh, you know what? I'm a libertarian too. This is garbage. These guys aren't libertarians. These guys are GOPs. These guys are hacks. These guys are flip-floppers, and they're sending the wrong message. The one that's hardest for me is Severin. I love Severin. This guy I listen to every single day. I would not have run for politics if it wasn't for Severin's message. Severin comes out and he says, I am a libertarian. And when he talks, he completely embraces the libertarian concepts. He's anti-spending. He is anti-war. He is still, you know, pro-individual in the military. But Jay is a very responsible politician, and he's got a great message. And again, I listen to him every day. So what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him is as soon as somebody runs for office, whether it's me or somebody else, he goes right after the GOP guy. He supported Scott Brown. How can you be a libertarian when you go off and you support a guy who is somewhat responsible for health care in Massachusetts, who's consistently voted for higher, you know, maybe not taxes, but higher fees at the local level? Consistently. And what's he do? He comes on the air all the time and he says, I am a Mitt Romney guy first and foremost. Mitt Romney? Are you kidding me? How can you be a libertarian and support Mitt Romney? When this guy was running the state, we passed the first version of Obamacare. This is the thing that templated it for the entire nation. And yet you've got a guy out there with a great message who is telling the people who listen to him to go vote for candidates that have nothing to do with the message he's preaching. This is dangerous because what you do is you get a whole bunch of people who believe in a specific concept. I believe in being a libertarian. I believe in being a Tea Party activist. I believe in what this guy is saying. I like what this guy is saying. And then this guy goes off and he stabs every single person in the back who actually will be an elected official and stand for the causes that he's talking about. Every single person, Severin, Beck, all of these guys, they are tainting the name of libertarianism and they are ruining the electorate because they are deceiving the electorate by mixing the message with the politician. Libertarians are against wars, they're against government intrusions, they're against spending. If they believe it, they will start supporting libertarian candidates. They need to do it. Has to happen soon. Good night.